Hi, everyone. So, I want to provide a little help and instruction to this assignment. This isn't a poem, it's a autobiographical story on Actively Learn with some questions after it, but I think some people have become frustrated with their grades on Actively Learn. So, if you are willing to put the time into going through this video, I'll go through each question and tell you pretty much what you should have in each question. So to start off with, you will see in Google Classroom won't come up, I guess because I'm only recording this tab, but it will take you to Real Men Don't Rob Banks, and the Actively Learn link takes you to this page. It's a story read by Liel Liebovitz, and it's his story of growing up with his father, and it's fabulous. It's really, really fabulous. It goes so well with what we've done with a retrieved Reformation, the idea of a superhero with what makes a hero in the video, and also Casey at the Bat, when sometimes heroes aren't what we think they can do or what we think they're going to be. So, what I want you to do is I highly encourage you to play this recording. This is Liel. He is going to read exactly what is written here. And you can start it here and then just scan down and follow along as he reads. Don't stop his recording. Don't stop to read any of the side notes. Don't stop to answer any of the questions. Just listen to him to read it from beginning to end. If you want to, don't even follow along if you don't want to. Sometimes it's just nice because if you lose track of what he's saying, it's sort of like subtitles in a TV show. But just listen to it from beginning to end. And then you can come back and we'll do the questions. So if you haven't listened to him yet, stop this recording, go and listen to him one time through. Because as I'm talking about it, I don't want this to be new to you. I want you to already have heard the story once. Okay. So, what a great story he had. So interesting. I don't know, whenever you hear someone's story, you always wonder what it would be like if you were in those shoes. And I think that he deals with a lot of grief about losing a father for such a long time. 20 years is an incredibly long period of time. The same grief that people feel when parents get divorced and one parent starts a brand new family somewhere else in another state or just in another town, and they feel like they've lost that parent, or the grief when you lose someone. But I think Liel has tried to make sense of that loss and has tried to find something positive that has come out of that loss. An idea of what is a hero. So, the title, Real Men Don't Rob Banks. He talks about going with his father and that his arm was the same size of a Smith & Wesson 45. And of course, because I'm using a laptop in which I'm school registered and you're probably logged into Google, we can't necessarily, or I couldn't upload a picture of a gun into an Actively Learn site. Obviously, I was breaking the parameters somehow. I could look at them myself, and you could look at them yourself, but they look exactly like every gun in every Cops and Robbers show, or what reminded me more of is the water guns, the little plastic water guns that you get when you're little, and it has like the little white plastic plug at the end where you fill the water. Not the big Nerf ones, but the handheld ones. That's exactly what the Smith & Wesson looked like. But he goes through and talks about these things that he and his father would do, and he didn't really enjoy them. But his father felt like he was being a role model, and you can't sort of blame the father for wanting to give his son a taste of what he felt being a man was. He talks about that international brotherhood of macho men, which isn't a real thing like, the Boy Scouts or the Elks Club or anything. It just means that, some men feel that they need to show their sons how it is to be a real man, and men do these things, and they burp and drink beer, and they, I don't know, slap each other on the shoulder, and they watch football, and that's the International Brotherhood of Macho Men. Maybe not for everyone, but for Liel's father. And the father had certain superheroes, and Ms. Fernandez put on the side, there is Sylvester Stallone, and there's Chuck Norris, and there's Burt Reynolds with the mustache. But here's the first question. Well, the first question was a poll, but this is the first question that you have to answer. And it says, what qualities and traits does Liel's father believe a man, his son, should have? Give specific evidence from the text. Having trouble getting proficient or advanced answers? Use these sentence stems to help. And these are great, really, really great, and I encourage all of you to use these. This should tell you that you need at least 4 sentences in these short answer. Writing one sentence that doesn't have a capital or a period is going to give you an incomplete or a basic. Okay, so first of all, you want to sort of start off with by saying, Liel's father believes a man should be, go back and find that. It's right above where you are, right? And then you say this can be seen in the text when, and you're going to give your evidence. And after you put that quote in parentheses, you're going to say, para 5, para 4, para 6, whatever paragraph that quote is coming from. Don't forget the citation. Don't forget. And then you're going to continue it. You're going to say, Liel's father values whatever that quote was talking about. And he wants his son to have these same traits because why would he want his son to be that way? Because he feels that that's what men are, and that's what men should be like, and that's what men should do with their time, and that's what men should look like. They should look like Sylvester Stallone or Chuck Norris or Burt Reynolds, and yes. Okay. Again, 3 to 4 sentences, no less than 3. I would want to see 4 or 5. And this isn't something that's just for this assignment, my friends. You're going to have to put evidence in all through high school. Every single English teacher will be like, where's your evidence? Where's your evidence? You have to start with the topic sentence. You have to give some background information. Then you have to cite your evidence, and then you have to expand on it. You have to elaborate. This is the same thing. They call it the treat formula. That's what this is. That's why we're having you practice so many times with just paragraphs now. Okay. Then he goes through and he says that all the kids really love the Motorcycle Bandit. And he was sort of like the community celebrity because he was so good and no one knew who he was. And they gave him a nickname, and it was like, where is he going to be today? And what bank is he going to steal from today? Now, next question. Why do you think Liel, idolized the Motorcycle Bandit, but didn't like the heroes his dad worshipped? Now think about that. His dad worshipped Sylvester Stallone, this big, bulky, muscular guy. Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is like ridiculous. probably jujitsu, kung fu, every type of taekwondo, everything, like ridiculously good. Very masculine, very muscly. But Liel liked the motorcycle bandit. Why would he and his friends like the motorcycle bandit more than the ones that his dad worshipped? So that's a tough question. So I want you to think about it. It says to answer the question, compare two of the people in your head, such as Burt Reynolds, that one with the hat and the considered handsome smile and the mustache, and the motorcycle bandit. Or think of Chuck Norris and the motorcycle bandit. What does the bandit have that's unique? What might influence Liel's choice? I don't know. Maybe is it because he's mysterious? Maybe is it because he's, fooling everyone because no one knows his real identity? Is it because he's doing something illegal? He's doing something against the law and there's a fascination for, breaking the law and getting away with it. I mean, that's pretty much the goal of every little kid is to steal the cookie or take the money and get away with it and celebrate your success. Is that why? Is he just influenced by his friends, by the whole community that seems to be putting this man up on a pedestal, this motorcycle bandit? There's no correct answer. We're looking for your insight. Why do you think the motorcycle bandit is cool, but those studly muscular men are not cool? At least 3 sentences. You can start with Liel's father idolized men that describe them. Then say Liel and his friends, however, thought, who did they think was cool? And then expand with Liel probably preferred the bandit because, and give a reason. So we're looking at least 3 to 4 sentences. Okay. Going down, asks you about figurative language. Tap, tap, boom, boom, boom. What are those an example of? Interjection, onomatopoeia, personification, or homophone. Going down, then we start finding out why his dad, how he got into what he wanted, why he became a man that robbed banks. And that we know at a certain point, at 35 years old, which is pretty old to get the talk, but he was told by his father, listen, you got to do something with your life. You can't just keep living here in the mansion or off your mother and my money forever. And it reminded me of Billy Madison, that movie with Adam Sandler, which is such an hysterical movie when Adam Sandler's ridiculously rich and his father says, it's time that, you got to move into the business. But they refer to dramas in the 1980s, like Dallas, Dynasty, or Knots Landing. And every parent, you can ask your parents, do you remember the Dallas? Do you remember when J.R. Ewing got shot? And your parents will be like, oh my gosh, everybody wanted to know who shot J.R., who shot J.R. So it was famous. J.R. Ewing, you can see him in the picture. Well, you can't really see him, but you could expand that picture. He, again, would have been one of those machos like Sylvester Stallone or Burt Reynolds, and he made every single cover. Every single cover. Okay. But the father didn't necessarily want to go down that route. Maybe he was, I don't know, going against or rebelling against his own father and his intentions, and he decided, hey, I want to do something different. I want to rob banks. Number 5. What type of figurative language does Liel use when he says, he was the Elon Musk of the stick-up job? You know Elon Musk. He was like super inventor extraordinaire. He was the Elon Musk of the stick-up job. Okay, moving on all the way down. Another question. Liel's father turning out to be the motorcycle bandit and depositing money back into the banks he robs can be viewed as, go down to number 6, which one of those, when you steal from a bank and then you put your money back in that bank, should remind you of Jimmy Valentine, who became Ralph in a retrieved Reformation. It was that same figurative language. It was that same rhetorical device in which he was dating the daughter of a bank owner, and he happened to be a bank robber. Okay, moving on. And then all of a sudden we have this twist. We understand how Liel really felt about his father. And even though everyone thought he was cool and he was great and, he was, I don't know, someone who was going against the grain, he was a true insurgent, he was a true rebel. Liel didn't think he was, because he was grieving the loss of his father. He wasn't cool. He wasn't the bandit. He was my dad, and he made a decision that took him away from me for 20 years. And that's pretty significant. But I can absolutely guarantee you that no adult thinks about that when they make those dumb decisions. They don't realize that the child will not see that decision as a decision of that moment. They'll see the loss that they feel for years and years after. So then he goes into that Japanese modern dance show, and Ms. Fernandez put a clip, fabulous modern dance. Sometimes it's called lyrical, but that's a clip from So You Think You Can Dance. It's a great, great clip. And if anyone tries to say that male dancers are not masculine, are not, the epitome of manhood, they're completely wrong. If you watch that, you will definitely see this beautiful expression between a man and a woman. Okay. And then he goes on and he discusses that, this sort of opened up all the barriers. Like, maybe there isn't only one way to be a man. There isn't only one way to raise a child to be a man. And that there were some things that he liked that other men like, bourbon, which is an alcohol, and he loves sports, but then other things that, he really likes rosé wine, the pink wine, which I guess would be more of a female wine. And he really didn't want to change tires anymore. And if he could, then he wouldn't. And by the time his dad came out of prison, he was already sort of formed his own idea of manhood and didn't feel like he had to reach anyone's expectations anymore. And he had this adorable son, this 3-year-old. It's his second child, has an older sister. And Liel tells us that this little boy just loves his older sister, and anything the older sister has, that's what the little boy wants. And maybe it's dressing up like Disney princesses, and out comes the 3-year-old boy, and he's wearing a princess gown, and I have it there, Princess Anna's dress. And the father, now out of prison, is sort of like, ugh, just looking, and it doesn't bother Liel. He's like, it's okay. He might be judging him. He might be thinking in his head, no 3-year-old boy should be wearing a dress. But it doesn't bother Liel. And that's the most liberating feeling in the world. When you know that someone is judging you, or someone is judging a decision you have, or someone is judging your clothes, or someone is judging your hairstyle, or someone is judging, your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your choice of profession, and you say that's okay. You don't care. That's an incredibly freeing moment when those expectations of other people are not going to define who you are and what you decide to be. And you say, that's okay. You can be horrified by it. You can not like it. That's okay. But I love it. So, the last question at the end of this says that Liel's father has a stereotypical image of a man, big, strong, stoic, into fighting, guns, motorcycles, action, doing or fixing things with their own bare hands. Stop right there. This is psychologically proven that a large percentage of people, especially in America, teach their young boys to be big and strong and play with trucks and roughhouse and throw balls around and get dirty, and that's the idea of what a boy is supposed to be raised to be. That's exactly what Liel's father raised him to be. That was his image of a man. That's what he raised him to be. We see, now go back to the question, we see that a lot of these traits, we see them in our superheroes. If you look at any of those Marvel superheroes, that's what they are. They're big, they're strong, they don't show weakness. They have these amazing fighting skills. They have weapons that they just can whip out and overcome the enemy just that easily. Superman, Captain America, Batman, Thor, all of these, they seem larger than life men. But look at what the question is. How might the images and the ideas that we see as children influence our understanding of a hero? Meaning, do you think that because we are bombarded with these images of what a hero looks like, what a male hero, because this story only focuses on males, heroes, if we are bombarded with these images of what male heroes look like, how does that shape our understanding, especially for young children, of what a hero looks like? Or what a hero is supposed to be? And I want you to think, is that a positive thing? Is it a negative thing? Or is it just the way it is? And if you think that it's a positive thing, then think, how can something positive come out of idolizing someone like Thor or Captain America? Does it allow a young, weak child to feel that they could have superpowers that could overcome the enemy and resist the bullying and be stronger and smarter because they have invisibility or X-ray vision, or their lightning speed? Or is that give them the strength and the power that they need? Or perhaps does it leave some kids out? And that's not their image of a superhero, and that's not what they dream of being, but maybe they want to do something different, like the dance and bring a whole audience to tears because you're telling this story through the movement of your body on the stage, or designing the clothes or wearing the clothes and captivating the audience by being able to transform their vision of, springtime, or night activity, outfits or things like that. Is there only one idea of a hero? And is this predominant image of a hero overall positive, or could it be maybe not for everyone? There is no right answer. Ms. Fernandez and I really just want to see how you explore this idea. And you have to really think, what was that hero image that you grew up with? Was it in someone that was your same gender, that was in your family, who could do no, wrong, who was, super talented in a certain way? Was it someone on the TV or in movies? What was that image of a superhero or of a hero that you idolized as a young child? And did that change at some point? Explore that. It says no less than 5 sentences. You can read that again, but what we just want you to do is just think about, how are you bombarded as a child with images of a hero, and how does that shape who you want to be in life? And is that a good thing or a bad thing? There's no right answer. I just want you to explore some thoughts with that. Okay? That's it. So go back, answer those questions, get it done, and I expect that this should be done today. If not, make sure it's done before our next class meeting day. And come to our next Google Meet, please. Miss seeing all of you. All right. Take care.